Welcome to X-Takeover. I'm going to take you on a tour around to show you everything that's here because there's so much cool stuff this year. One of the things I was most excited about was some of the Cybertruck gear we were going to see this year, and it is definitely all on display. But there's more than that, so much to check out. So come with me. Let's take a lightning tour of X-Takeover. What's really fun is, of course, rooftop tents are showing up everywhere, and there's a ton of them on Cybertrucks. So really, you've got a tent, you've got what I call a condo, or you've got an entire house. All three options on display, which is really cool. But this is pretty neat too. If you're looking at travel trailer setup, this has got a lot to love. It's built for rugged adventure, can definitely handle off-roading. So if you're trying to get out there, this thing is really cool. He's also got his own truck camper on the back, which is really cool. There's a bunch of people in there, so we won't sneak in there. And then we've got the unit that's on my truck. So this cabin folds up and opens up. Makes for quite the living space as well. Built for your whole family, all 4 seasons. Pretty awesome. Now, if you want to take your camping to a level of luxury, this is where you would have to head to. As you can see inside of here, this is the next level of that camping. Heading down the rest of the Cybertrucks showcase. This is all Cybertrucks everywhere. Everybody's all modded out. Bunch of custom looks, custom designs. A lot of cool ideas of what people have done with their Cybertrucks. And then, of course, we've also got the totally customized, absolutely stellar Model Y. Can be used for off-roading too. Did you know that? Some people have quite the setup for camping. There's so much you can do with the Model Y. I don't even think you realize how multifunctional the Model Y is, especially if you start putting some of this gear on, you can really take it to the next level. And then, of course, you can't talk Tesla without performance. We've got tons of performance cars right up here. Lots of custom designs. Looks really cool. So much fun. And of course, we all remember the days of everybody shooting their trucks, which is a lot of fun. This particular one, there's a 5.56 from an AR, got a 7.62, and then a bunch of window shots from armored glass, which is really cool. You can see the slugs in there too. That's kind of fun. So if you want to take your Cybertruck to the next level and be truly bulletproof with the glass, holy cow. I guess that's what you got to do. Got my friend Drew back here from Martian Wheels. Of course, they got a booth here this year, which is cool. Check out this Cybertruck with their new Cybertruck wheels on it. I have not seen a bronze set before, but these look sick. And he ended up putting some kind of, some aggressive looking lug nuts on it too, but this guy's got quite the suspension upgrade on his Cybertruck. Sick. And then quite possibly their most popular design, the MW3. These are the 0.2, so this is the second generation of the wheels we had on our Model Y, which we ended up getting something like 5% more efficiency going to the 18-inch MW3s with a good set of tires. Definitely worth checking out. And then, of course, recently they released this design for the Rivian, and this one is pretty sick too. So it actually looks very similar to the Rivian design, their new Aero wheel, but man, that looks good. And then we've got the MW5, I believe. This new design came out last year, and it is sick. Again, I've never seen that one in bronze either. I've only seen it in black, and it looks awesome. And quite possibly their most popular option. I've only seen it in black also, but this is a very affordable set of lightweight, high-performance wheels. You should definitely check out Martian Wheels. Come with me here to Cybertruck Co's setup. You are not going to believe this truck. I got a sneak peek of this thing, and it is sick. Let me show you some cool stuff. So not only does it have this new front bumper, but the way that they designed this is structural, and they have a mount point here as a hitch. The reason why that matters for the winch is because now you can mount this winch on the front or the back, all because it's mounted by a hitch that's integrated into the bumper, which is really cool. He's got a really awesome, I don't know if you've ever seen these lights, but these are next level, which is cool. And speaking of lights, check these things out. I thought they were just loose. These things actually pivot. So when you're setting up camp, you twist them out, and when you're on the trails, you push them forward. How cool is that? Of course, you might have seen recently solar panel on the front of my truck. This is the solar panel kit. So this can run about 200 watts combined, and it can power your devices like Starlink and a refrigerator. That's what I'm using mine for, and that is a really cool integration of solar on the Cybertruck. Here on the side are their new rock sliders. What's really cool about these, if you look close, we have a sacrificial plastic barrier here. So as you use these, you're able to replace these one piece at a time without doing a whole lot of damage to the rock slider itself. So this gives you an added layer of protection on the side, and you can really put this thing through the ringer. That armor doesn't end there. They've got armor everywhere under this truck. Everything is covered. Pretty cool. And the rear bumper, of course, this is something I'm really excited about. I haven't asked them yet, but we have a departure angle difference here because of the way this is set up. On the traditional Cybertruck, there's a huge piece here that really reduces your departure angle, which is cool. Got some additional armor on the side. Now, when I saw the sneak peek, I wasn't sure what was going on here because the ladder itself was just kind of sitting in there, so I thought I was holding it, but no, it is the ladder. How cool is that? Of course, the hose, this is actually hooked up to a bladder in the sub trunk, and he's got his inlet and outlet mounted underneath in this bumper. So now you have up to 25 gallons of water on a water pump. So you have pressurized water however you may need it. But this bumper, it doesn't just stop there. Because it's a multi-pivot, we've got one set of pivot over here and another pivot over here. And in this case, holding a spare tire. The reason why Cybertruck it matters is because the rear view camera, you have to have your wheel off to the side or anything mounted off to the side if you want that camera to work. Of course, his cyber cap and a tent that actually, the base of it goes up so you can actually stand in here, which is pretty cool. And don't forget, touch grass. And then of course we've got the whole sexy lineup. We've got the buttons, and more recently, as you saw on the channel, we've got the turn stocks and the gear shifter all right here. Those are pretty cool too. For those of you who cannot stand not having those, you got to go check out Enhance Auto. They can get you set up with that. Of course, you can get just the commander if you want to do everything on your smartphone, the buttons and all the customizations. These guys have been around for a while now, and they've been a staple in the community. All right, this was just released today, a couple hours ago. I missed it. We have a light bar now from Enhance Auto, which is really cool. This is the sexy light strip. Of course, to go with your sexy knob, your sexy commander, and your sexy buttons. And then this year, Lucid has brought the new released Gravity, quite a popular car. This is gonna sell really well. The price point for this level of luxury, I think, is right on point, and the range is good, and the space inside is good. This car is definitely gonna be a great seller. Something really cool this year from Unplugged Performance. This just launched a couple of days ago. This new wheel is made to be for the fleet. You can beat this thing up like crazy, but what's really cool, as you can probably tell from the design, they actually published just a couple of days ago that the aero drag on this thing is within 0.001 of the most efficient wheels Tesla has ever made. That is really cool, and this design, it goes with just about everything. If you saw our Cybertruck, you saw Rafa has these CyberHex wheels on his. These have got to be like 22 or bigger, but it looks like they now have a 24-inch option of the CyberHex, which is really cool. And then of course this bad boy, which is what I'm sporting on mine. I love this wheel. It's so beautiful. And then of course every performance part you can imagine. These guys kind of invented the space. They say this is for Robo Taxi. I'm pretty sure from my hand for comparison. Maybe they meant this is the Robo Taxi. That's a big caliper. And I got to find a way when they're not looking. I'm just going to take all of this with me. Just all the tungsten lug nuts. I don't know how I missed it. They've actually got one parked right here with the wheels on it. Sick. And this is Quicksilver, just like ours. Let's go around this side where the sun is shining. Look at that. It is the same tone as Quicksilver. This inlay is, which is really cool. And if you didn't know, they're also pushing their next gen for Upfit, which is really cool. They are actually, my understanding, already active in 20 municipalities, and they're continuing to talk to more. This just totally makes sense, and they've just got to figure it out, because the savings to taxpayers and this being a better performer than what the traditional squad car is, it's just a total no-brainer. My favorite booth of the day, my boys at Urander. This is the next generation Urander rack, and it is so cool because now we've got some spring-loaded, shock-activated latches where you can lock your gear in here, and now you have access from the inside and the outside. As you can see, you can still access it from the inside if you want, and then modular customization. So if you just want a rooftop tent on some slats, no problem. If you want to seal this whole thing off, you can do that too, and that is really cool. These guys are awesome. I met them last year. They were just starting. It's so much fun watching how far they've come and where they're headed. And then my friends at Test Plus, always showing up. We've got our next generation wheel covers, which you've already seen on the channel, and I have one more set that somebody's going to get on my way home back to Florida. They sell a ton of Tesla accessories. You got to check them out. And if you ever see the Doge Cybertruck, that's your friends at Test Plus. And then the Pebble is here. This thing is next generation camping. So we've got active motors on the chassis. We've got a big 45 kilowatt hour battery pack. We have the ability to move this remotely with motors on the front, and it's shaped in a way to make it as aerodynamic as possible, while still giving you a rather large camping package here, actually. And you can even charge your EV off of the camper, which is cool. Solar panels on top, of course, and just taking a quick look inside. Very nice, sophisticated interior. My friend Craig has started his own company making these really awesome modular setups for Cybertruck. This is practical, but not only do they have this line of modular system that goes in the front and or the back, how cool is this? So what he has done is he has developed a whole rail that replaces the plastic, and it actually mounts to the chassis of the truck, makes this able to support weight on the top. So rather than having a trailer, you're able to take your toys with you from the top, which is really, really cool. And then if you take a look in here, that same modular system that you saw in the front is right here. And here's another version of that, taking a look at how they've got another setup put together, which is really cool. As you can see, they're fans of Milwaukee tools, which is all this stuff right here. And great news for those of you who already have an EV Jack. 2.0 is here. They've already shipped to everybody who has sent in a replacement. 2.0 is here for everybody else. This Breakaway device is the only way that you can safely charge without getting out of your vehicle in an emergency and get out of a bad situation. Front and center, we've got the 2.0 here. This is much heavier, it's thicker, and it's all about the new UL standard that these guys had to be a part of making because it didn't exist. But check out the engineering on the inside of this thing. We've got solid posts. This thing is made incredibly strong. But seriously, my wife working at night, sometimes she has to stop at the charger. That's why I love having this for her. And I travel, of course, all over the place late at night, and sometimes it's just not a comfortable situation. Peace of mind is pretty cheap.